Basic appraisal procedures, page 130. Using inappropriate comparable sales data or data that is not the most similar physically or locationally. Not at least driven by the comparable sales that are used in an appraisal. Not making an adjustment in the sales comparison approach when it is clearly warranted. Not basing adjustments to reflect the market's reaction to differences between the subject and the comparable sales. Using data provided by parties with a financial interest in the subject's transaction without verifying the information through a disinterested source. Not following USPAP. Appraisal reporting forms. Fannie Mae has developed a series of residential appraisal reporting forms that are used for the various types of residential properties for which they participate in loans. Single family, interior/exterior, and exterior only. 2 to 4 family, condominium, and manufactured housing. Freddie Mac also has a mirror version of most of these forms. The most common Fannie Mae appraisal reporting form is the Uniform Residential Appraisal Report, URAR. According to Fannie Mae, these forms are designed to provide an objective and unbiased description and analysis of the neighborhood, site, and improvements. When an appraiser recognizes that Fannie Mae regulations and guidelines are an assignment condition, the appraiser must use the applicable Fannie Mae form for reporting the appraisal. Lending institutions and others generally prefer standardized forms because they provide a sufficient level of detail in a consistent, convenient, and easy to read format. Do not, however, let the apparent simplicity of the forms deceive you. An extensive amount of work is always required when performing an appraisal. The forms should never limit the appraisal process, the amount of data collected, or the explanations of your conclusions. The amount of data collected and the analysis are dictated by the appraisal assignment, not the appraisal form used for the report. Additional details and analysis may be required if you encounter any unusual situations that must be investigated and reported to the client. Most forms provide spaces for explanations and expanded comments. Additional documentation, exhibits, and addenda may be included beyond those required by the client or the form if you feel they are necessary. Fannie Mae guidelines require the appraiser to provide the lender or client with any page 131. Information needed to make an informed decision concerning the property. The latest versions of the Fannie Mae forms detail what is required of the appraiser for each type of report. There are some variations depending on the appraisal assignment, but in general, the appraiser must, at a minimum, 1. Perform a complete visual inspection of the interior and exterior areas of the subject property, except for exterior-only appraisals. Inspect the neighborhood. Number 2. Number 3. Inspect the comparable sales from at least the subject's street. 4. Research, verify, and analyze data from reliable public and or private sources. 5. Report the analysis, opinions, and conclusions in the appraisal report. Scope of work is the subject, contract, neighborhood, site of the Uniform Residential Appraisal Report. It says the purpose of this summary appraisal report is to provide the lender/client with an accurate and adequately supported opinion of the market value of the subject property. Here's the file number. Second line has the property address, the city, the state, the zip code. The next one is borrower, owner of public record, county, legal description, assessor's parcel number, tax year, RE taxes, neighborhood name, map reference, census tract. Is it occupant, owner, tenant, vacant? Special assessments, PUD, HOA, how much do they pay per year or per month? Property rights appraised. Is it fee simple or leasehold or other? Describe. The assignment type, purchase transaction, refinance transaction, other. Describe. Lender/client, address. Is the subject property currently offered for sale, or has it been offered for sale in the 12 months prior to the effective date of the appraisal? Yes or no? Report data sources used, offering prices, and dates. That was the subject section of the URAR. The contract section says, I did or did not analyze the contract for sale for the subject purchase transaction. Explain the results of the analysis of the contract for sale or why the analysis was not performed. Contract price, date of contract. Is the property seller the owner of the public record? Yes or no? Data sources. Is there any financial assistance, for instance, like loan charges, sale concessions, gift or down payment assistance, etc., to be paid by any party on behalf of the borrower? Yes or no? If yes, report the total dollar amount and describe the items paid. The neighborhood section. Note, race and racial composition of the neighborhood are not appraisal factors. Neighborhood characteristics. Location. Is it urban, suburban, or rural? 1 unit housing trends. Property values. Is it increasing, stable, or declining? Oh, I'm just going to do these sections. Go back to neighborhood characteristics. Is it built up? Is it over 75? Or is it 25 to 75? Or under 25%? How's the growth? Is it rapid, stable, or slow? Back to 1 unit housing trends. Demand/supply. Is there a shortage? Is it imbalance or oversupply? Marketing time. Is it under 3 months, 3 to 6 months, or over 6 months? 1 unit housing. Price and age. Dollar and years. Low, high, and something about, it's abbreviated PRED. Present land use percentage. 1 unit percentage. 2 to 4 unit percentage. Multifamily percentage. Commercial percentage. Other percentage. Neighborhood boundaries. Neighborhood description. Market conditions, including support for the above conclusions. The site section, dimensions, area, shape, view, specific zoning classification, zoning description, zoning compliance, is it legal or illegal non-conforming, grandfathered use, is there no zoning, is it illegal, describe, is the highest and best use of the subject property as improved or as proposed per plans and specifications, the present use, yes or no, if no, describe. This is the site section still. Utilities. Electricity, is it public or other? Is the gas public or other? Is the water public or other? Is the sanitary sewer public or other? Off-site improvements. Is the street public or private? Is the alley public or private? FEMA special flood hazard area, yes or no? FEMA flood zone. FEMA map number. FEMA map date. Are the utilities and off-site improvements typical for the market area? Yes, no, if no, describe. Are there any adverse site conditions or external factors like easements, encroachments, environmental conditions, land uses? Yes or no, and if yes, describe. Figure 4-1, top half of page 1 of the URAR. See complete form in the appendix.